reduce the hip dips. I know there are so many articles and videos online saying that you can't do that because it depends on your genes, your anatomy. But fortunately, I have some good news for you, which is that although you can't necessarily remove the hip dips, you can try to increase the size of the muscle on the side butt area, which will seem like you have more of an hourglass shaped line without having that dent right here. I worked on those exercises for 2 days per week because this has always been my goal since the start of 2018, and now that it's almost the end of the year, I can see my progress in developing the side butt area, which I know is not a really scientific term, but actually the gluteus medius, the muscles around that area. And so I came up with some research into the scientific literature and compiled those exercises for you. And now, without further ado, let's get into the video. My preferential exercises for activating the glute mat. The main paper that I'll be citing in this video is a study by Boren et al. 2011, which ranked the exercise order for activating the glute mat and max. And they did this by comparing the contraction elicited from each exercise to the maximum volume isometric contraction, and that is squeezing the glutes super hard during the standardized testing procedure. The exercise that was ranked highest was the side-lying hip abduction with dominant leg on bottom. For me, the right leg is my dominant leg, so it remains on the bottom while I spread the legs apart while doing the plank position. You could also use a resistance band to make this even harder. The same goes for the second highest ranked exercise, which is the side-lying hip abduction with dominant leg on top. For this, it is the same procedure as before, but with the legs in a reversed position. The third highest was the single limb squat. Usually I like to squat it deep down, almost below parallel to the ground, but in this study, they only did it to the height of a chair, so here I am demonstrating that. The fourth highest was the clamshell, which were categorized into 4 different types in this paper. The highest one of them is where the top hip is fully extended and the knee is raised parallel to the floor. Then you move the top feet up and down. Following that is the same movement, which is the clamshell, but with the top hip not fully extended. Then the other types of clamshells that were found to be good but not as effective as the previous 2 were where you clamp the feet and move them together and apart, or sticking the legs together and spreading the feet apart. Then number 5 is the plank with hip extension. Keep in mind that putting your elbows close to the floor was found to activate the glute mat more in this study, rather than just doing the quadruped or the downward dog position. And number 6 is the well-known hip extensions on cable machine. Also, you can do it sideways, and that will directly activate the glute mat more. Also, another study by Sinsuri et al. 2015 found that extending the leg 30 degrees from the standing leg activates the glute mat more than any other angles like 90 degrees. Now, this is more into my personal preferences, which I will start with side squat walks on the cable machines first. Keep the squat parallel to the ground and shuffle sideways while holding the cable machine for this movement. Then the other favorite of mine that definitely changed my glute mat game is the crab walk on cable machine. This also shapes the quad, which is also what you want to target if you want a nice hourglass figure. The next must-do move for glute mat are the frog pumps. You can try that with a barbell too, but for now I'm doing mine with just dumbbells. Lie on the floor if you want to target more of the underbutt, or lean against a bench if you want to target more of the upper butt. Last but not least are the sumo squats. Keep in mind that whenever you're doing the squats, keeping your feet pointing outwards will activate more of the glutes. Although this was not among the list of exercises that were tested in the study by Boren et al., I can't ignore this move because it just helped me so much with growing my gluteus medius. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you find this video informative and helpful. If you do enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below on what your fitness goals are. I'll be also posting more fitness related scientific content as well as lifestyle and mindset videos, so if you don't want to miss out, make sure to subscribe down below. And I'll see you next time.